Welcome to the Pipette's production on how to draw Lewis dot structures.
Before we start actually drawing a diagram, you need to know how many valence electrons each element you are working with has. Let's start with water. Hydrogen has one valence electron because it is the first group on the periodic table. This group is called the alkaline metals. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. To find out how many electrons an element has, you can count down from 8 starting on the far right family, the noble gases.
The octet rule says that an element can have a maximum of 8 valence electrons. The only exception to this rule is when the center element has more than 8 valence electrons, and hydrogen, which needs 2.
When drawing a Lewis dot structure, first find the total number of electrons in the atom. Since we are drawing H2O, oxygen will be the center element. Each bond shares 2 valence electrons. Single bonds are called sigma bonds, and double bonds are called pi bonds. In this case, we'll only be using sigma bonds. Draw 2 sigma bonds attached to the oxygen and add 2 hydrogens.
Next, find the total amount of valence electron in the water molecule. Since oxygen has 6 and hydrogen has 1, the total would be 6 plus 1 plus 1. The total amount of valence electron would be 8 because each bond represents 2 shared electrons, so 8 minus 2 times 2. Now the leftover electrons would be 4. Using the 4 extra valence electron, draw the equal amounts of valence electron on the oxygen. The extra dots are called lone pairs.
Resonance structures are Lewis dot structures that describe a single molecule with fractional bonds and charges. Let's do an example. CO32-. When a molecule has a total charge, it changes the number of valence electrons. If it's negative, you add more electrons. If it's positive, you take away electrons. Carbon has 4 valence electrons. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. 4 plus 6 times 3 plus 2 equals 24 electrons. Carbon will be in the center with 3 oxygens hanging off. One carbon-oxygen bond will need a double bond to fulfill the octet rule. Because of resonance, the double bond can be on any one. In reality, it will even out and make a 1 1/3 bond.
Congratulations, you have successfully learned how to draw Lewis dot structures.